look at what we have at our disposal here, a Porsche 911 RSR at Vallelunga race circuit in Italy. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with this car, this is not a 911 road car that's been ramped up to race specification. This is a thoroughbred competition machine. If you've spotted the WEC logo on the front of the car, that's because this is the design that won last year's championship and competes at Le Mans, of course. So this is the real deal. And emphasis on that is, even though it looks like a 911, this bodywork is all bespoke, carbon fiber. Even the shape of the headlights here are curved so that they suit the aerodynamic profile better. And then if you were to follow me around here, GTE regulations dictate that we have steel brakes, but they are enormous and provide immense stopping power, I'm told. And at the back of the car, the engine, normally in a 911, sat out here. In this car, placed over here, and it's a 4.2 litre flat six, Porsche's biggest boxer engine, producing 515 horsepower, mated to a 6-speed sequential gearbox, driving the rear wheels, of course. Loads of space out back now with the engine not there for an enormous rear diffuser, massive rear wing. Inside, it is proper race car. I mean, there's absolutely nothing here, barring, interestingly, the electric switches to adjust the mirrors carried over from the road car. Everything else is proper racer. So it is very much the real deal. Lots of downforce, lots of power, loads of grip from slick tyres, and a very warmed up Vallelunga race circuit, and a slightly warmed up racing driver. I'm just going to go down a cappuccino before I get in. Wish me luck.
After only one sighting lap of this fabulous circuit in a 911 GT3 RS, it was my go in the RSR. Porsche had been kind enough to send its on-hand works driver, the very fast Jimmy Bruni, out to get the racing machine warmed up for us. But let's not beat around the bush here. This is a proper GTE racer with slicks and ridiculous aero on a circuit I'd only ever experienced via YouTube video. Yep, I'd say that this is about as thrown in at the deep end as I've been yet. Isn't it funny how nerves can suddenly dissipate when your focus is turned to something else? In this case, one very vocal 4.2 litre flat six. It's derived from the 4 litre we know and love from the GT3, but tuned for the world of endurance racing, so it's not sullied with any filters and can project that glorious, slightly bassy flat six tone to its heart's content. It's even more fabulous in real life. The inconsistent audio and volume here doesn't do it justice, but know that I'm wearing earplugs, fabric defenders, and then the padding of my helmet to stop my eardrums from exploding in my head when I'm in the car. And the gearbox, my goodness, it's as if the whole process of banging between cogs is completed faster than you can release the carbon shift paddles. In the circuit's faster spins, you can really feel the RSR's aero pieces pushing those slicks into the asphalt, and thanks to the mid-placement of that engine, this GTE machine doesn't half revel as you up the entry speed and get chasing the throttle. It is just a wonderful thing to drive at pace. So yeah, while 515 horsepower isn't exactly an enormous output by 2020 standards, the RSR really does catapult you down the straights, as its 6 tightly stacked sequential gearbox ratios keep that motor spinning towards a 9,200 RPM red line. By the way, we hit 150 miles per hour in Vallelunga's speed trap. I'll go into more detail about that in a moment, but first, let me shut up. I'll let you enjoy a whole lap of that engine.
Good? I loved it. Amazing. Wow, I've just jumped out of the car. I'm trembling with adrenaline. This is real. Unbelievable. I mean, I've driven some fast cars at PistonHeads, but this thing, so much grip, like insane amounts of traction. You can just about feel the aero here on some of the bends. I'm trying to summarize the experience. You get in, the engine is just all over the place. It's in your head. It's vibrating through your body. The car exits the pit lane. Sequential gearbox ratios are pretty tight, so you're banging through the ratios really quickly. First turn here, we've got the chicane, so it's a really fast entry. Immediately the car feels loaded and hunkered down. And the traction on exit, it's mid-engine, so it doesn't have the engine out back like a road car. So obviously the balance is more central, but it just has immense amount of traction, to the point that I think even like towards the end of my stint, I was still probably way too late on the throttle on exit. And just the way it stops as well, it still brakes, but once they're up to temperature, it's a question of how strong this leg is, not how good the brakes are and how brave you are into corner entry. You can brake with a bit of lock on. I mean, there's turn 3 or 4 here. It's a double right-hander. You can brake and have some lock on and the car's loaded on turning, but it just turns around and then you're back on the throttle. You can run left foot braking because you don't need the clutch when you're driving. It's just banging through the gears on the paddles. Oh, what an experience. It's going to take me days to digest this experience and really get some serious words with it. But all I can say is the GTE guys, wow, I mean, you know, you can be an amateur with some money and race in this, but you're not really an amateur if you can stick around with the big boys in this. You have to be up to a really high level. I did 10 laps in total, 4.5 of which were pretty slow, and my legs are trembling. I'm feeling the workout on my torso. Yeah, this is a proper piece of kit.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe to the PistonHeads YouTube channel and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. See you soon.